Okay, so we are back again. Okay, and we are not Backstreet Boys. Sorry for a bad joke. So let's start. So, what are the different scenarios where we will be using a proxy design pattern? So, one thing is a virtual proxy. What is a virtual proxy? So, basically, when you have created an object, and if the object creation thing is very expensive, then you have a virtual object and a virtual proxy, which will actually help you out in using all the time. Okay, so it was always a like thing which is used in lazy loading. Now coming to remote proxy. So this is a local object which will provide access to the remote. This is used in RMI and RPC calls. It's also called as stub. Okay. Now we call as protective proxy. We all know this. We all have in our companies. There's a proxy which actually protects us from using YouTube sometimes. So which is not right because then you cannot see my videos. I don't know how much it will be for you. So that's great. Now there's a smart proxy where you can have some kind of thing like what access you want to use and what request is coming, who is sending the request, all those things you can use kind of more security wise. So let's talk about the main difference between adapter and proxy. So if you can think, we have already talked about decorator and proxy, where decorator gives you extra functionalities on the object. Adapter gives you a different interface for an object. Basically, this object will talk to a different thing. Proxy gives you the same interface, but with not the actual object, with a different copy of the object. And adapter is like providing a suitable interface for a client use, and proxy means like just giving the additional feature to check that has some additional feature. Now we will be talking about an electrical appliances. We know we have a adapter, like we can convert one power supply from one source to another. In case of proxy, we have a plug with built-in surge protector. That interface for plug and the original device remains the same. So surge protector is the capacitor is there, right? So that is a proxy. But here it is like the you have another converter like from English to UF and like that. And when you will use a adapter design pattern, so basically when you have a two class with incompatible interface and we have to make use of those classes, then we will use a adapter pattern. I can give you an example. When I worked on a previous companies, I had to write a open API specification, like how the APIs will look like. And the request and response were not matching with the third party or a client libraries. So what we did was we created an adapter, like we created a SDK on top of it. That was the adapter. It take the request and response from my code, and it was giving the request response from the third party kind of a code. That is called an adapter or a wrapper, which we were using. We have given examples of adapters, but in here it's list, arrays.asList, collection.list, enumeration. All those things are examples of adapter because what they are doing is they are changing. They are changing the original to a different in different thing, right? So yeah. Now, what is the difference between factory and abstract factory? So you will always get this question. So to answer it in one line, an abstract factory is a factory of factory. To answer it more detail, let's take example of a car factory where you can do some kind of things like those like Honda, Toyota, Maserati, and all. With abstract factory, you can have a device factory kind of a thing. Then you can have Google device, Apple device, and then you will have Apple device factory. You will have your own implementation. So, subtle difference is very subtle, but this is how you can give you any example with the abstract factory and factory. Open and close principle. This is one of the Uncle Bob's principle, and we will be covering to solid also. But right now, open close is very crucial because it's used in state and strategy design patterns. You can change the strategy, but you cannot change the implementation. You have to create a new class for the strategy. So, what is open and close design pattern? By the way, what is the difference between state and strategy? Do let me know. Okay, state changes the object, strategy changes the implementation. But do let me know other things in the comment. And as per principle, your class should be open for extension but closed for modification. That means once you have created a class, you can't do anything onto the class, you can always extend it and provide the additional features of it. Now we will be closing it here. What is a solid design principle? So solid design principle is a single responsibility. A class should have only one responsibility. Open and close, list call substitution, interface segregation, and dependency inversion. Why I read it like this? Because it's something which we will be covering in deep. I think it's already covered, but we will be covering in more frequent questions. And we will be talking about Builder in the next video. So till then, do give me the feedback, and I would be very much interested in what you think of this session or this thing. I know sometimes I read fast, sometimes I fumble. It's because of the things which I have to explain, and then when I stop reading this material, I try to come up with examples from my own. So let's stop it right here, and we can meet again in the next video. Till then, take care. Bye bye.